We have a whole heap of little things to talk about here because Jamaica is full of thrills and intrigues and all the things that is necessary to make it get on your toe every time. You can't say nothing about to say something about. Yeah, you always have to have something to say about in a Jamaica and something to rectify. Yeah, because it's all about also to see what you can do on the radio to help solve some of the problems them that confront we as people in Jamaica. So, within the next week, and them say this is what them call it now, it's not only gun amnesty, but taxi man look taxi amnesty. And now we hear about another state of emergency. And I just tell the government, say, Mr. Government, this is the period at the time when most of the majority of Jamaican people make them little change. They want to buy certain things that they never couldn't afford the whole of the year. Like them little false fingernail and them eyelash and all them something there. And the big guys, them, this is the year when them make a whole heap of money. Because them bring in whole heap of things in the country to sell to poor people. And they make big money. While the small man or woman dress up in the little Chinese this and the Chinese that. So you will tell you now, please, Mr. B, don't bother talk about your call no curfew during this time again, you know. Just find out when you're done, just go and lick it until after the December done, because it's not go nice if you call the next what them call it, curfew during the holiday time. I mean, don't say you're not so mad still. I mean, I know you're mad, but you're not so mad. If you go really call a state of emergency, when at 2 years now, the people them not have no holiday run for them, you couldn't do that. I know you're not thinking about it, you know, but in case you're not thinking about it, I just say it to you. Okay? Alright. But I don't know much people out there see this movie and name Wakanda Forever. It was a sequel to Black Panther, where it make a big rave in a Jamaica. Going at the theater, everybody have African clothes. But there's a song, a couple songs in there that related to Jamaica in a very canon way. It relate to Jamaica. It's not Jamaicans that do it, but it related to Jamaica. Now, sister named Rihanna, who is a national hero, she's a national hero of Barbados, them do a mix of one of her tune them will come out of the movie there. And the mix is really something else because it's the first, I will say it last night, I will say it again, it's the first ever year an artist of what we would call it fair caliber, fair popularity, you know, what you call a mega star, really use a Jamaican rhythm in the way where they remix the tune in her. And we really have to say, wow. So, Tough Tan and him wrong friend. Tough Tan defend him wrong friend, you know. Them call him Mr. Right, but Mr. Wrong. Now, I don't know how the woman them in a Jamaica hear Tough Tan say what him say. And them not out there march, or them not out there in front of Jamaica House, up at the remand center there. Because I think out there them put him, you know. Them Mr. Wrong brother, them put him up at remand center to leave, to kind of ease him back into for them little pack. Could bring him in from the coal. What did Tough Tan say? Tough Tan say, basically, who is we to judge Mr. Right when he make peace with him God and with him pastor? Why should we, as a Christian nation, don't do what the Bible say and forgivement? No, look at now, Mr. Tough Tan. Behave yourself, man. Behave yourself, Mr. Tough Tan, man. He's a big man. I know you go to church and all them something there, but are you trying to tell me that if a man go there and box on a woman on the road and him not admit you him, but everybody knows you him, because for that man, the reason why you are say him make a peace with him God and with him pastor is because you are now admitting that the man do him do on the video. Even though him never say him and the woman never say nothing and she never say nothing and him never say nothing. But for you to come tell the nation say, right now the man make peace with him God, that means say he's absolved. He's absolved from all the things them that the society would want to say. Look here, if a man backs some woman on the road and go in him house, go kneel down on him knee and pray, and then son them go to church, go confess, When I'm a Roman Catholic, I'm going to the confession box and say, forgive me, Father, I've sinned. It is now how much months since I box on my wife with a chair. Or him go to a little pastor and say, Pastor, say, me really want to tell you, say, and me really do it and all them way there, me want, and the father say, well, boss, we all make mistakes. They do it without sin, cast the first stone, and them till they use it up. Yet still, you have something like the country named police, and you have something like the country named court, that is not governed by the laws in the Bible. It is governed by the laws in the Constitution. You can't carry a Bible in the court to justify your actions in the state. Mr. Tufton, you're a big man. You can't come use no only Bible verse. If you come put it per we now, say, we must feel guilty because the man stop feel guilty about what him do. And we must feel guilty now because now we did talk about the man like, if we not say make peace with him, God. It don't work that way there. It don't work that way there. And that's me I say, if me didn't got a woman organization, me depend you, because you're supposed to resign from them time there, with the baby thing, you come and tell people about religion. This is a democratic country, I can't to say. It's a government by the people, of the people, and for the people, I can't to say. So, answerable to the people, that is what the answer is supposed to be. You are answerable to the people of Jamaica. That is why they have courthouse. They have courthouse that when a man do something, whether I'm guilty or not, they're going to put him in the courthouse and try him. And it's the judge and the jury going to say him guilty or him not guilty. So don't come with them foolishness start there, them fool talk about tough can, like about say the man make peace with him God and make peace with him pastor, and then no we don't say nothing. Let who is without sin. All the way of so-called sin, and that don't say even the judge when at the court guilty of something, even the jury will find the man guilty of something, but that don't mean say we're going to turn to the Bible to solve a thing where it's a democratic country supposed to solve the thing. Because you don't want to bring the man out from the cold now, or you start to talk this and talk that. The man never left from the party for a long time. See it? And him never admit says him, but you are admit says him now. Say the man make peace. Where I make peace with I you? You confess to your pastor. And you make peace with the Lord. I don't know if you make no peace with the Lord. How you know to the Lord accept it? How you know to the Lord accept it? You must stop them foolishness, man, and make the thing work how it's supposed to work. I can't own it. Set it up. Set it up. Because if a man do less than that, a man ball out. I know man I talk about let me without sin cast the first one. You think say Jesus could have said that in Jamaica? But let me without sin cast the first. That is some stone I reach that woman is unbelievable. You have to see some stone I reach the woman is unbelievable. So don't bring them to Jamaican people. He's guilty. Guilty. And even if you take responsibility for it, it still linger in the minds of Jamaican people. So this man is a high-ranking man in the government. And I like Mutabaruka when I have nothing to do with government. See it? Him is held at a higher level. Just like how the police is held at a higher level. See it? And police, you have to take with the police them job now. It's like that come like the man where I say, the other day when I tell him, so boss, you throw the rubbish man the ground, brother. The brother tell me, say, boy, if I'm not throw the rubbish man the ground, the garbage man now have no work. Madness. It kind of mind-boggling that when politicians do something in Jamaica, there's no consequence. There's no consequence of what they did that really is against the people. Them just say things and just get off it. Like, no happen after that. People just forget that and say go on to the next thing. Like all tough time, last when they talk about the baby them. And they must say, well, the reason why I never want to tell the people them, never want to talk about it is because I never want to make the people them get, what them call it, scared. Never want people get scared. What they them talking about? 12 baby are dead in the hospital and you have to say over a period of time and you have to say you never want to say nothing because you don't want to get the population scared. They don't scare the people them with the COVID. How to scare the people them with the COVID? Every day you live on the radio talk about COVID. Right? And the people them get scared. And all that talk about if you don't take the injection, this and that, and you're not going to do this, and you're not going to school, you're not going to get for work in a certain place and all them. So scare the people them. When baby are dead in the hospital now, and you never want to tell people because you never want the people them get scared. You know, Fenton, I think Fenton was the minister of, in 2018, or 2015, one of them time, he was the minister of health. And babies are dead. And him also, him just say, well, all right, listen to this.
Allow me to clarify a statement made in Parliament on Tuesday, October 27th about premature babies. I would never disregard the life of any human being. I simply wanted to convey that premature babies are more susceptible to infection. I am before you, not only as the Minister of Health, but also a father who could not begin to imagine losing my child. And my niece Shalema was born premature, so I personally understand. I want to express my sympathies to the families affected and apologize to them and all Jamaicans.
All right, that is an apology from Fenton in a 2018, I think, or 2015. Something about this, all right? When he was the Minister of Health. And him actually apologized. And that was the end of that. No, nothing never happened. No, him just said that and it done, because apology is what people always need without reparation or restitution. Man just apologize, thump in your mouth and say sorry. You know, that means you're supposed to, all right, now can thump in your mouth and say sorry. But this man, you know, Fenton, Tufton, him not say no about apology. Him just say, why will we ride that even boss didn't know, you know. You can just imagine when boss call him up and I say, Bridget, oh, you forgot to do that. And maybe him not even say that neither. Bridget never come up with nothing and say, why right now, why it's really terrible how that happened, but you know, certain things in the hospital that we need to clarify and all them something there. And him not take no personal responsibility for it as the Minister of Health. And now him come now with something else now. Where a man was seen licking him woman with a chair. And even though the woman never, I just said to go down at the police, but they never lay no charge and him never get no charge, him never admit to it. Him never say yes or him and never say no or not him. But Tufton now say him. The reason why I say Tufton says him is because him come and say the man make peace with him God and he make peace with him pastor. And who is we to judge? Let who is without sin cast the fourth stone. Some man cast a table, a chair upon a woman in a Jamaica. And we supposed to just let that go. Alright? So we did let it go now. But it come up back now. It come up back now with a man. I don't know if it's get them or try get him back for run because them know why I'm popular in the area there. How him come from again? Westmoreland, yeah, Westmoreland. Him popular in Westmoreland, so they want him come back again because elections will come around and they have to get a strong man down there. So, and the problem is that the people them now going to take that into consideration. They are going to just chew all over them eye and they are going to just go back and say, yeah, we want Mr. Wrong, we want Mr. Wrong, yeah, we want Mr. Wrong. And Mr. Wrong just get into power again and that is the end of that. No consequence. No consequence. That is how the country are run. That is how the country are run. You see the other day with the Prime Minister of England, where them catch him at their party when them supposed to lock down and him talk about people must lock down. You see what happened to him? Him not dead again. Even though him talk about him, I'm going to try to come back. Like him at Donald Trump. He will try to come back. But we have to watch these things. But listen to this now. What I'm calling them, I relate to the first thing we talk about with Tufton. Him say, you think him boss didn't know? I believe they all knew, but strategized to remain silent and hope it no leak. But it did. That is a possibility too. Them sit down and figure it out. You understand? So, yeah, the possibility, them didn't know the boss. The boss is really the Prime Minister we are talking about just now. With the Tufton brother there. You know, it's like, them do these things all the while and expect, say, well, them not expect, them know so them are going to get away with it. Them know so them are going to get away with it. Like all Harris Chang, you know. Harris Chang say, and I'm going to repeat it, Harris Chang say, when asked, what would he be a success to this amnesty? Him say, even if them get one gun, they will see it as something of value, even one gun. Last week I was saying, suppose them bring in a gun where a family left, a grandfather left in a one chunk, and the picnic have it there, the big woman, good all big like all me, have the gun in there, and them just see it as a archival piece where, you know, my grandfather and my great-grandfather used to use. Suppose them find him with that gun, or him carrying the gun, would him deem that as a success? Because if a man have a gun put on there for 40, 50 years from family inheritance, you know, and him can't go get the police. You can't go tell people say, well, we had one gun and that no say that's success. The man don't have no ambition because them claims that them find 20 gun. And some of it is gun where we just talk about where people have been at them house for a long time. That means the gun them not come off of the street. The 20 gun not come off of the street. They might use the street as a metaphor, but the gun them is not them gun them that talk about. Them gun them will lie down man for 40, 50 years and just in a man also I put on because he want to remember him great grandfather and all them someday. So 20 gun, them say them be that means Harris Strong supposed to keep party. Because if you see there, I tell them say if me get one gun, I don't really feel good, you know, but no, me get 20. Problem solved. It's a politician who don't know easy. Who don't know easy, you know. I tell you that, you know. 20 guns recovered so far. And when the amnesty done, tomorrow, 17th, 18th, 19th, I think at the 19th, them say, and them could have extended to, just like the state of emergency, them could have extended, hey, I tell you, you know, don't bother to go to the extent of state of emergency till at December, you know. Believe you me, we don't want to hear that, you know. The people them locked down too long, 2 years, and don't get to go have no fun, and just when them go have the biggest fun now, you hear say, state of emergency because gun, you better don't do that. But the 20 gun them, Jamaica has recorded one of the largest amount of murders ever for a year in Jamaica. And the year don't finish yet. Ironically, Harris Strong, who is the Deputy Prime Minister and also Minister of National Security and also controller a area in a St. James, while them talk about state of emergency, in a Harris Strong area, wanna hear this? In a Harris Strong area last night, Norwood, 6 people get shot. In an area, you know, where police and soldiers run up and down all over the place, you know, to make sure it's not happening, you know. In a him area. And I can't one of my brethren where him say, just down the road, one of the road them name for him. Him named upon one of the road them. 6 people, mass killing, mass shooting, 6 people get shot, 2 dead, 4 others in a hospital, including a 9-month-old baby. And you know what I'm do? I'm telling you about it and you don't listen to me, you know. This is domino playing, I can't. I mean, no, it's a tradition, you know, but this is not the time for these traditions, you know. It's domino the man them are playing, you know, and a man just drive up and just fire shot. 6 people get shot, 2 dead, and a 9-month-old baby in a Harris Strong area. The same man who a corner half the country I talk about state of emergency. Him and Mr. Anderson, Anderson name, yeah, them supposed to arrest these things. What is happening? That is not something that I would be proud of. And I would be proud of getting 20 guns with all the 200 guns a month where you claim are coming at the island. And him know that, you know. Him knows that 20 guns are coming at 200 guns are coming at the country. Them get 20 guns. 20 guns. I don't even know if them get 1,000 guns since the year start. 20 guns. Them confiscate. And them was brought in. And meanwhile, them talk about, yeah, 20 guns. Some guys drive up and shoot 6 people and kill 2 and a 9-month-old baby. This is Jamaica. Alright. So, we go down our school the other day, as you know, Kingston Technical High School, and we want to love just Stone, we want to him up because he is the one who initiate this move. Give the 3 students them an award for helping the girl who was stabbed. Them never drag out them cell phone and take picture and all them way. Them actually rush to her, help her, resuscitate her, and all these things, and help her for going out wherever them put her in her. So we go down there, we are talking to the student them, and one of the things that we are talking about is that the idea of it takes a village to raise a child. We have to figure out where the village there. Because the way old Jamaica set up now, if you call the village the neighborhood where the children them live, and most of them live in some area where is infested with criminal activities and some uncouth people. That the village, you can't raise up nobody. So we have to look back on the village again. And one of the places I suggested was the school. The school is the village right now because the majority of the student time is in the school, not with the parents. Because when them left the yard, them not come home back till the evening, and that is that. And when them got come in the yard, them gone to bed. So I am putting it that the school is the new village. And this is where now the parents them who is same thing like the picnic them nowadays, because some young people, millennials that have 16-year-old people, young, we have fire gun and all them things, they're on the road and them we are there. We are saying there's something that must be done. Get some psychologists and some people who into, child reforming the children them in their mind and them thinking for going to the school them continuously. And the teachers must be part of that. And because we know that the teacher them pay small and we don't really want to burn the teacher them, but for the children them sake and for the society and the community sake where we live in now, the teachers should be a part of that village, which is now, what I claim now say is the school, is the village. Because you can't carry them people in a certain area where them live and I tell them about village must take care of picnic. That is somewhere was in Africa, and in Africa you never have no wire fence. Everybody live in a real village and everybody know everybody, and no shooting and going and murderous things that are going on in them village there. So the parents could have taken care of the experience. And then long time ago we used to live in some community where the neighbor know the picnic and the neighbor know the mother, and the neighbor can't scold the picnic. When the picnic do something, you can't scold them picnic and you come from over next door. You hear some clout all you go in your ears, and if you don't mind sharp, them start to stone you.
I heard you on TV saying just what you said there.
Yeah.
That with this concept that the school is the new village. And I agree with it totally. It is something that I have been trying to get our leadership in Jamaica to accept. But of course, my preachings have fallen on deaf ears through the years. But I agree with you completely, because my feeling is that the two critical socializing agents of the society are the family and the school.
Yes.
And our families, as you mentioned there, are stressed, severely deficient these days. So the children are in dysfunctional families, should we say. So they're not getting what you should get from the family. They're not getting the type of values and attitudes and life skills that you would want to get from the family, most of the children. And so the next best thing is our schools, which, as you say, the children are there for so much of their waking hours. And I believe, like you have intimated, that we need to invest much more in our schools, because that is the place while we work to improve the family, that is a very long-term process. And while at the school, we can look at that the government has full control of the schools, and we can look at making an impression in a much more shorter to medium term. So I agree with you fully. I don't think that we understand, and I think I love Muta if you from here on in talk a lot about it, because I don't think we understand that our schools are like, or should be like, surrogate parents. In other words, stand in for the parents. And if we don't understand that it is in fact education and socialization which is going to get us out of the quagmire that we are in now, then we're going to have a serious problem. So, like you, I agree fully that we need to focus much more on our schools to make this seismic change that we need in our society. And let me just say, one of the symbols that tell us very clearly, very symbolic of the road we're going down, which is the wrong road, is how we treat with sports in our schools. Sports and other extracurricular activities, but especially sports. Now, I heard on an earlier program at the IRI, an interview involving Randy Mack, the dub poet. And he said that, he never really focused on dub poetry until he was exposed to the performing arts at Excelsior. And that is what really made him realize that he had that talent. And that is what extracurricular activities at school should be about. That's one of the facets of it. So it is helping us, or it should be helping us, whomever qualifies to be at that school legitimately. It should be helping them to know themselves more, to develop, to understand themselves and their boundaries more. But we have converted extracurricular activities, and especially sports, into a win at all cost sort of venture. So now we are bringing in the big money so that we can win.
Mogi, you can hear me?
Yes.
All right, I just want to say something, right? All right. As a long-time sportsman, right? I will know that sports still in our school, but sport is used just say, game and football, and you don't really see that do nothing else more than that. More than you just play football and you're glad say you win the Walker Cup, you win the Manning Cup, and you feel good. As a long-time sportsman, them can use in this village where we are talking about, this Taker village now, which is we are talking about now. We move the village from the community now in the area where them live to the school where them live. In this new village where we are talking about, which is the school, and as a sportsman, you think them can use sport for more than just winning Manning Cup, winning that, but to develop the mind and also the attitude, which is very important, the attitude of the youth them. What do you think? Or you think that could have worked?
Well, sports is, extremely powerful, or can be, in that area of socializing our students so that they learn values, attitudes, and behaviors. Now, sports is a microcosm of life. It's like a small life setting, right? So you have many teachable moments. It's like a practical, of life, but in a confined time space. So many of the life lessons you can teach the youngsters through sports. You can, sports has different aspects. You have the behavioral aspect, you have the emotional aspect, you have the social aspect, and you have the technical aspect. What we have been doing in our schools is focusing only or primarily on the technical aspect. And we need to bring up the other aspects of sports in school. And, for example, school can teach you things like life skills and non-cognitive skills that you don't measure by IQ, right? It can teach you, for example, discipline. We always talk about discipline and indiscipline in the place we see. Sports can teach you to be disciplined, self-discipline, self-regulation, right? And we call it delaying gratification, right? You put off until another time something that impulsively you would do right now. It can teach you how to communicate. It can teach you give and take, how you get along with people. But for example, in my years, when I was a much younger man, people have come to me, and I coached youngsters at the time. People have come to me from the groups I've coached when they were much older. They were young men themselves, and having worked for a while. And some of them have said to me, "Doc, you saved my life." I said, "For example, save your life? What do you mean?" Well, I won't go through the type of life those guys had, but very, very stressful. They come from what we call the ghetto in Jamaica. And they said, one said to me, look here, all the people I grew up with, and he grew up bringing up a younger brother. And he said, all the people I grew up with, Doc, are dead, either killed by gunmen or police, including my little brother. And he said to me, Doc, the only reason I am here is every time they brought the gun to me and said, come, we're going to shake down our business, I couldn't take it up because I heard your voice in my head saying, delay gratification, don't do it. And he says that's what saved them. Although the people, when they shake down the place, they bring back some of the spoils and give to him and so on. So it can change people's lives tremendously. Because youngsters, for example, love sports. I mean, sports, I am an example of that. Very passionate about sports. I was very passionate about all sports, but particularly football. And so youngsters will make the effort to change where they would find it much more difficult to do it elsewhere. So that's what I mean. And there are a number of things. Sports can teach you about, the academic behaviors. And one of the things we should be using it to do is to help youngsters understand that, look here, you have a lot of skills that you have learned through sports. And you can transfer these skills to other areas of your life, including the academics, including the workplace. A number of people that I work with, so some youngsters, are, in their 50s now, and so on. And, they tell me initially, when they started to work, they would write down some of the things that I would say to them, and they would put it on a tape, and they would play the tape before they go to work. And if they get distressed and down, depressed, they would play the tape. So what I'm saying is, that's why I agree with you. And these youngsters came out of very stressful areas, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it can be used to do a lot of things. And the other thing is this, that, it's a two-way thing. When they go back to their homes, true, that is influencing them, that environment, but they are influencing it too, right? So if there is the proper use of sports, it can be very powerful. And
all right, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something now. All right, you talk about saying certain to the student them. Oh, you factor in you talk about bringing people, which I suggest that to bringing psychologists, bringing man who can facilitate a conversation with the youth them, and also the teacher them. How you reach the youth them, like on a weekly basis with a situation like that? You have to train the teacher them. You have to bring in extra people for
the teachers are critical. I mean, they are the core. So you have to. One of the things that Muta, we have templates of it all over the world. People talk about Singapore and Finland and the Asian countries and so on. So there are templates out there. One of the things is that we need to, first of all, understand what you are saying in terms of using this ecosystem, this environment called the school, to make the paradigm shifts that are needed in our socializing of our youngsters. And hence, that is one of the reasons, Buta, that I'm against severely recruiting people for sports by our schools.
If you go to a next school.
Eh? Yes,
you recruit in one school.
You're a big baller, or you're a big cricketer.
Yeah.
Right? Or you're a big runner. It shouldn't be done. If it is that we're using sports to help to socialize our citizens, our adult citizens to be, all of them, whether they are big baller or they are nerd or they have two left feet or what, they are going to be our citizens.
So what do you think is the adverse effect?
The trigger of a gun.
What do you think would be the adverse effect if them keep doing that? What is it that you have against the shifting of students from one school to the next because of them football skill and them ability for athletic skill? What is it that you're saying?
Well, there are so many things against it, Muta. We don't have the time. But
no, but one of the things that
that it does. For example, let's look at the leadership end. So many of our schools, and this includes our traditional schools, especially our traditional boys' schools, just about all of them, recruit, bring in people for sports from other schools, okay? Now, one of the things that does, in all my years of saying that, this shouldn't happen, I have not found yet one chairman of the board of any of the schools, one principal of any of the schools to say, yes, we recruit. We bring in people based on their sports ability. I haven't found one. In other words, it generates defeat. All of them keep saying, we don't do it. We don't do it. Although they are at the top of the line.
Yeah, but may I ask you, what is it that it does to the student community? When I say, what is the negativity that come up in doing this? As it relates to the student?
Before I go to that, I just want to stick on this one to say this. That what that does, the deceit that it brings about there at the leadership level, what it is telling our children is, look here, you cannot trust these leaders. Because the children know that the school bring in people for sports. Alright? The teachers know. The fans know. But here is the leadership saying they don't do it. So you learn right away you can't trust the leadership. You can't trust the institution. So we get what we call the trust deficit.
So if them tell them you have to be okay with it. If them make it plain say that them do, you have to be okay with it. That's what I say.
Yes, but no, I wouldn't be okay with it. But
yes, I'm not asking now. Apart from them being
okay, let's go through one other thing. First of all, our schools are such that we should be delivering quality education to all our children. All right? Any school they attend, they should be getting quality education. But the fact is that that is not the case. And in fact, relatively few schools offer this quality education. And we say to our youngsters coming out of the ghetto, we say, look here, do your schoolwork, right? Do well at schoolwork, and we will you'll be able to go to a school which is considered to deliver quality education, because the demand by far outstrips the supply of these schools. Okay? So these children who come from the depths of the ghetto and who have sacrificed heroically, really, in their struggle against tremendous odds. Some of them, studying under street lights, they live in horrible conditions. But they struggle, they dodge the bullets, they keep out of the gangs and what have you. They make the sacrifice to legitimately get into a school offering better quality education and facilities. However, they find themselves locked out of the opportunities and benefits that are their right and which they have earned. Right? Why? Because of this win-at-all-cost approach to sports in school and the recruiting of sports talent. So you have a guy in the school who is a big baller. He'll tell you 1-on-1 makes 3. But he's in the school. And this, because the schools have limited space, school can't take everybody. They don't get to go in. I think that's very unfair. Or, if they get to go in, they can't represent their school as they would like. They can't get that experience which they have earned. But their neighbor, who was kicking ball and running all over the place while they were busting their asses at home, studying, he's in the school. The other thing with it is this. It's very inefficient. Now, our government should be working towards making all of our schools deliver quality education. That is what should be their aim. All right? But it is not so. And hence, the society develops this thing where those who are better prepared at the time, for whatever reason, to deal with this quality education, to deal with this physics, to deal with the chemistry, to deal with the biology, most efficiently and use it as we would want it to be used so that it can come back and help the society. This is how those get into the better quality schools. And I'm saying...
No, wait there, hold on there. All right. So, you're talking about the sports people them who go into better quality schools because them can run and thing. What
as opposed to the others.
What to do them
who don't get in?
Yeah, but so why you see to them don't hold on. Why you see to them don't get into the school? Because they must have recruit sports people, or because they never pass them exam or pass the exam.
No man, they would pass the exam, but in other words,
so why them don't get into the school?
For example, the school, you see, any school can accommodate just a given number of people.
Yeah, so why them don't get into the school? The youth them who pass them exam, why them don't get into the school?
Alright, that's what I'm saying. The school can accommodate just a sort. Let us say the school can accommodate 10 people.
Yeah.
Alright? Now, 3 of those people you bring in because they are good ballers. But the school can just accommodate 10. So it means that...
Okay, alright. That's the way I say. Right. That's the way I say. So 10 people, 3 go, but because them can't do ball. But the one really have education and really have move, but because them don't play football, them don't get in at the school.
Right. And also, Mota, if it is that we are using extracurricular activities, they should be used in school to help to socialize our children. Yeah. What you would find is that just like I get the impression it happened with Randy Mack. He didn't know. A lot of the students at school don't know what they can do and what they can't do,
Yeah.
They haven't been exposed to this, that, or the other thing. So it is for the school now exposing them to these things. For example, I never played any representative football until I went to George's. I played coach. And that is how people knew that, this boy have some talent. So that's what I'm saying. We're not unearthing talent. In other words, you can find out there are so many people I know in my time who, for example, didn't run. But George's at that time, although other people were importing big this and big that, they were completely against it. In fact, they were exporting big baller, although we worship football. But they found a lot of people, youngsters, who them go all the way to sixth form, and don't do anything. And boy, this year, concert, and they finally come out, find them come out, and the man would go champs and win.
Yeah. All right, we have to wrap up now, though. We have to wrap up. So, the last comment now. Tell me what concluding what we are dealing with now.
Okay?
No, I said we have to wrap up now. So I'm just saying that we want you to say a conclusion. We want to bring it to a conclusion.
Okay.
We have to wrap up.
What I would say, Mota, is that I support what you have put forward there completely. And I would like to see a change in how we approach sports in our schools and other extracurricular activities, so that the focus is on not winning at all costs.
Yes.
The focus is on the outcome being better citizens.
Yes, yeah. All right, sir. Give thanks.
My brother. And thank you.
Give thanks. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, that was coming from a man who has been there and done that. Yes, coming from a man who has been there and done that. Trust me, man. Brazil, George's, chemists, him do it. Football, man. All sorts of things. And him there for share where matter about it. And I am the part about bringing in students who, because them have sports qualification, them can run fast or jump fast over another youth. And I totally understand what I say. 5 youth, 5 space. 5 youth, 5 space. I know you come and you pick some youth who good in football and cricket, and you say, all right, you will give them the preference over the 5 youth who seems them know it's not footballer, but them really them education up there. that unfair, and it showed that the system kind of twists. So we will say it again. We are say we know the idea of it takes a village to raise a child. That is an African proverb. But we must understand that the village that the African proverbs relate to is not the village like we're in a Jamaica now, where you have people claustrophobic. Each hamper one another, one tenement yard of how much people in the yard. You put up your clothes on the line and everybody has to see what dirty from when or dirty. If you did wash good or never wash good. Or what kind of stain the pan it and all them something there. This is where we live in now. So we have to go to the next thing now, which is the school. The school is where the picnic socialize, are supposed to socialize more. Because them spend more time there so in them working period. So the people who is experts in these things, I am suggesting that on a really just listen to what I say. Just listen to what I say. Attack the school in relationship to how you're going to now reverse this madness. Where everybody has said it is the parents' duty. We know it's the parents' duty. But given the circumstances that is surrounding Jamaica right now, given the lack of jobs and the youngness of the mothers and the fathers them, because I remember I said nobody go to school to learn how to be a parent. So that is an innate thing that comes from human beings. But something outside of that human being mindset that is extending itself, that the parents them cannot achieve parenthood as how parenthood should be. So we have to turn to something else. And we can't turn to the neighbor and the man across the street. Because it's not like the village in Africa. The school is the village. That is my argument. The school is the village. This is where the development of the child must come. Educational and socialization and also psychological, we call it, you come to the point where the student in the school must be able to communicate with other students and with the teacher. So you're supposed to develop the student that the student can go to the teacher and say, teacher, you know, say, me really, I'm at that time of the month, I want to know if you know, I just say, yes, we come, we can show you. We have some things in the schools. Pardon all, something can help you, you know. That is what I talk about. The student must not be afraid to talk to the teacher. If the student have a man problem, him suppose he can't cheat and him suppose he can go to the teacher and talk about the man problem because it's not happening in the yard because the mother have a man problem too. That me I say. There's something going on with the leaders in Africa. I find them start a whole heap of them work together with one another. I don't know if you see it, but yeah, the African leaders them seem to be doing things together. Even at the conference, the climate conference the other day, we see them kind of come to a conclusion about money to be spent on climate thing, and them ask, a group of them ask, the bigger country should do more because them create the problem, like America and China. Them is the biggest pollution of the year. Them should do more, and I find the leaders them in Africa call upon that, which is very interesting, very interesting. Okay, so the Native American them in America, because we know that the Native American them in Canada, we call them American, but a Canadian them, we don't know Canadian them. Them have them different names for them different tribe. Them supposed to get apology and they are going to collect, they have been collecting reparations. Now America is the problem now. America, them said, some of the chiefs them said need to apologize and pay reparation for the death of nearly 100,000 children. The children them was in the school them developed by the Anglican Church and the Roman Catholic Church. And as we speak, they are digging a whole heap of places where these schools used to be to find the bodies of these children who was taken there by the church to wipe out them culture and them language out of them head. In other words, to brainwash them into being European and accept Christianity. That is really what it was all about. Now it come to light that thousands of children died with the fathers them as pedophiles abusing the children, them sexual abusing the children, them. And when some of them dead, them bury them. And no one know about the church. Because the church is a cover up, the church is a cover up. And we're talking about the Anglican church. The same church, you know. The same church. It was that one break away from the other one. The Anglican church, which was the Anglican church, was Henry VIII break from the Catholic church. And from the Church of England is Anglican. It's the same church. They have the same rituals them in the church. But they are calling, the Native Americans is calling upon America to realize how important it is for them to apologize and pay reparations. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? It is familiar. That is where Europeans are all over the world. You know, see, that's where Europeans are all over the world. And the people them now is saying enough is enough. Because them dig up some and find 200 bodies in Canada. Them find bodies of children under the churches and the school rooms where they will have the pity them. Terrible, terrible thing. Okay, back to Jamaica now. You remember there was a alabaloo about this apartment skyscraper building that them a build in a Rutland Road. We don't know where a $48,000 $48,000 for one of the building them, for one of the apartment them. It is there for everybody to see it. Now, hear what happened now. A little rainfall the other day, and guess what? You see them car they were going there, the Benz them and the this and that. Water overrun the place. You cannot go in or out. They must get sandbag. This is 40, and that don't be there whenever I mention that. Some of the apartment them a leak. A LHT house them, you know, for upscale people. 48,000, 38,000 for one of them. And the people them buy them place. And little rain, I don't like big rainfall, you know, a little bit of rainfall, you know. The people them have to put sandbag. Imagine that. And them car, like really, the car them come up to the bonnet. And some of them are leak. Who will take responsibility for all them thing there? I must say NHT, which go right back to the government. Again, Rutland Road, same road there, we lead you back by Half a Tree Road, we carry you back round to Waterloo, not Waterloo, Trafalgar Road. Yeah, man. It's a terrible thing for you buy also them money there at them time, yeah. I'm going to find, say, the house a leak and you can't park, you can't, if can. So when the big rain start come, soon, like next year, when the big rain them start come, where the people them are going to do? Where the people them are going to do? It's a serious thing. Okay, so here we go. Ama, A-M-A, Ama, most ancient. Binta, B-I-N-T-A, Binta, with God. Bisa, B-I-S-A, Bisa means greatly loved. And E-D, E-D-E means sweetness. So that's Ama, A-M-A, Ama means most ancient. Binta, B-I-N-T-A means with God. Bisa, B-I-S-A means greatly loved. And E-D, E-D-E means sweetness. Middle name, Mamadi, M-A-M-A-D-I, Mamadi, means worshipper. Adrisa, A-D-R-I-S-S-A, Adrisa means immortal. Nyameka, N-Y-A-M-E-K-Y-A, Nyameka means Jah gift. And Karamoko, K-A-R-A-M-O-K-O, Karamoko means studious. So that's Mamadi, M-A-M-A-D-I means worshipper. Adrisa, I-D-R-I-S-S-A, Adrisa means immortal. Nyameka, N-Y-A-M-E-K-A, N-Y-A-M-E-K-Y-A means Jah gift. And Karamoko, K-A-R-A-M-O-K-O. Then we hear this thing about cell phone and go to style and fashion. Remember a new thing named Valpy. It's them $2,000 phone. So the people might come, hey, they might come with something, you know, you just say something, you know. And you just have radiation to pick up that and send it to a satellite and then go through, you know, you don't have to use nothing in your hand. And nothing all up in your ears and all them something. Watch them. You see them people there? Them are implant human embodies in a robot. What me say? Them are implant humans in a robot, the envoys of the human being in a the robot. Hoping say eventually. And them a put real flesh per robot now, you know. Yeah, them a put real flesh per robot. I mean, so when you see the robot, you think say it's a person. But underneath that skin is machine. You think them people are easy. That is really where the world are going now.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.